Welcome to The Choice of a Young Voice. This is a series that, discusses the different topics that affect young people for us to make good choices in life. And today, please, if your friends are not watching, call all of them right now to tune in to Hope Channel Kenya, because the topic we are discussing is going to be fire, is going to be hot. We are talking about who makes the first move. And before we start talking about it, I met this group of young people and we played a game. Usually they fail. This time they tried. We played a game to do with making moves. Let's see how they did. The episode we are discussing today has to do with who makes the first move. And now, I want to see whether you guys are good with moves. A man should be able to make a lady smile, and a lady should be able to make a man smile, right? So the game we are playing is called Honey, If You Love Me, Please Smile. But you're not supposed to smile. You're supposed to, if you smile, you lose. But the guy wins. You get my point? The game is, he's supposed to look at you, ask you to smile, and you don't smile. Baron, have you understood? I want you to start. To approach one of these ladies and ask them to smile, and they're not supposed to smile. And you walk and look at them and make sure, you ask them to smile, and they're not supposed to smile. Hiya. Tidin, 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 tidin. Let's go. Guys already say he's shy. You see it? I see it. Honey, if you love me, please smile.
Oh, that is.
Okay. Try and make her. Look at her. Okay, you try. It's your turn. It's your turn. Ta-dun, ta-dun. Ta-dun, ta-dun. Dun. She's smiling. She's strong. She's smiling. You can do it. You won. She tried. It's so hard to hold. Okay, one of you ladies approach. Let me see who you. One of these guys. Hey. This is going to be good. Let's go talk about who makes the first move. Hey, you people. Kumbe, you can blush like that. Hey, we have a group of young people who, you saw it for yourself. You did see it for yourself. Anyway, so today we are talking about who makes the first move. And to help us discuss this topic, we have one of the, I think the most funniest, pastors I've ever met. Do you agree? Yeah. Right here we have Pastor Elizabeth Mokoro and Pastor Nicodemus Onyango. These two are blessed by God. God has really, I don't even know what to say. They are a blessing to us. They are such a blessing to us. And I'm sure they're going to help us understand what the Word of God says in line with relationships and how the youth should relate together. So just a brief background. Back in the days, you know, people used to do like arranged marriages. Abraham would send his servant to go look for a wife for his son. All Rebecca had to do was her duties. She was just there feeding, you know, giving water to the camels, and she was just being a nice young lady. And he spotted her and was like, that's the woman to be. Now, the question we are having is, why don't we have such arranged marriages today? My parent can choose a spouse for me. Yes, Pastor Liz.
Why not? Now, if you look at the story of Isaac and how they got a wife for Isaac.
Yes.
Number one, Rebecca was not just doing her things. If you remember, Eliezer had been sent. This was a trusted servant, and had made an oath that he'll come back with the right wife for Isaac. But you see, he gives a sign to God. But how will I know that this is the woman you want for Isaac? So he tells God that I will go there where they water the animals. The woman that will accept to water my animals, then I will know that is the woman that is meant for Isaac. And God uses that to be able to, you know, allow Eliezer to know that this is the woman.
Yes.
But if you do Spirit of Prophecy, the book Patriarchs and Prophets, allow me to do an excerpt. Listen to what the messenger of the Lord is saying, Ellen G. White. She says this, that in ancient times, marriage engagements were generally made by parents. And this was the custom among those who worshipped God. Those who did what?
Worshipped God.
Worshipped God. None were required to marry those whom they could not love. Not those whom they did not love. Those whom they could not love. It means by the time those arrangements are made, they have already known that these two can actually learn to love each other. Because love is something we nurture.
Yes.
We don't fall in love like we say. We grow in love. And then she continues to say, but in the bestowal of their affections, the youth were guided by the judgment of their experienced, God-fearing parents. Are you together? And then it was regarded as a dishonor to parents and even a crime to pursue a course contrary to this. That is Parental and Prophets, page 171, paragraph 2. As you get down, it even gets better. She says, Isaac, trusting to his father's wisdom. Are we together?
Yes.
Not all of us have people have trust issues with their parents. No, particularly at this age and time where parenting has been a challenge. You hardly know your son, you hardly know your daughter. But Isaac, trusting to his father's wisdom and affection, was satisfied to commit the matter to him, believing also that God himself would direct in the choice that was made. So Abraham committed the important matter to his eldest servant, that is Eliezer, a man of piety, a man of experience and sound judgment, who had rendered him long and faithful service. And I want to answer your question.
Okay, you know, I want to hear from Pastor Nick.
Yes.
Before even you give the answer,
yes.
Pastor Nick, what do you have to say?
Thank you, Carol. Liz, I've said it very well. I just want to handle two issues. Why parents? Why did parents have to come in when their sons and daughters were of age to get married. The first and foremost thing is the power of love. The parents knew very well the power of love. And when love comes, it can direct you to any direction. Sometimes people say, I don't know how true that is, that love is blind. I don't know how true that is, but what I know that love has some power that can drive you to any direction, whether good or bad. So the parents knows this, that because the time that King Abraham were living, there were mixed multitude of people. Those who feared the Lord and those who were worshipping idols. They were traditionalists. They did not believe in God. Their background was uncouth, and the power of love could drive their children to any home. So what they were looking at is that, where can I get a family that has a background of God so that my child will not suffer in the future? So this is why the parents had to come in. Today, I don't know. We'll handle that today. We'll handle that today. We can continue from there.
We can continue from that. Thank you so much. Would you people prefer arranged marriages? Yes, Baron.
Thank you. I'm Baron. To me, personally, I would prefer that because,
really?
yeah, really. I would be, normally, I say that I would prefer that I'm getting a wife that is from where somewhere that is known, not even to me personally, but even by my parents. But today, our families, we have challenges because we don't know even, because family, we are too much in the world that even we don't know even ourselves. You are not sure whether this family that you want to take your son or your daughter is grounded in Christianity. You are not sure because of the world. I don't know how you can handle that.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
I think the problem is not that they don't know whether these families are grounded in God, but then what is their priority? The issue is priority. That time, the priority was faith-based or Christian-based. But to now, the parents are not prioritizing that. There's something that prioritizing the more. What they're prioritizing is that is the background of that person economically stable. They don't mind about faith now. Do they have some cash background?
Pastor Liz, what do you have to say, Pastor Liz?
Let me pick it up from where I left. We have Eliezer that has been given that assignment. And he makes that solemn oath that he will not bring a Canaanite wife to who? To Isaac. Remember, Abraham had told him, put your hand under my thigh as they make that oath. And Abraham encourages him and tells him, God will be with you. I want us to read that verse, Genesis 24:7. Abraham tells him, the Lord God of heaven, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my family, and who spoke to me and swore to me, saying, to your descendants I give this land, he will send his angel before you, and you shall take a wife for my son from there. Notice three things. Number one, the parents of Isaac are godly. Number one. Notice number two, there are clear guidelines that are in harmony with God's will. And the guideline is, the lady must be one that comes from a background that acknowledges that God is the creator of this universe. Are we together? So it is idol worship versus the worship of true God. Do we have those values ourselves? And then number three, notice the whole matter is left in the hands of who?
God.
So parental guidance is very important because young people have strong affections, and just like Isaac, they are yielding in disposition. Pastor was saying those passions can take you to the good or to the bad. And many times we are so blinded that when someone else is seeing something, you're not seeing.
Yeah.
Because of this cliche that says that love is blind. It's until you get into that marriage, are we together? Then you say, hey, I wish I would have seen this that time. But my mom talked about it, you know, or you know, you begin regretting why you didn't take Tom and married. And you sit in marriage wondering, hey, if I was staying with Tom now, how would life have been?
Yeah.
But see, it's too late to reverse the whole thing.
Thank you so much. And now, now that, parental guidance is very important, but now we live in a generation where the first move is usually made by the young people. They approach each other and then seek for parental guidance. Now we live in a generation where the ladies are very outspoken, where people are free to speak their mind, and, you know, is it okay for a young lady to freely approach a man and say, hi, I like you, I have feelings for you?
Going by what you have said, you
Yes.
don't just meet a person and just tell them, I have feelings for you.
Yes.
It never even happens like that. You know, by the time you decide to get into a relationship with someone, these are people you have been together with for quite some time, and you know them. Now, coming back to your question, is it wrong for the lady
To make the first
to
move.
make the first move? There is nothing wrong in the lady making the first move. The only difference comes in how the man makes the move and how the woman makes the move. Look at the case of Boaz and who was that lady? And Ruth. You know, Ruth placed herself strategically and behaved in a manner likely to suggest what she wanted. Again, allow me to read that verse. Ruth 3. That should be Ruth chapter 3, verse 2 to 4. Listen. Verse 2 to 4 says, now, is that? I think it's 3 or 4.
As you find the verse,
Verse 3, sure.
Pastor Nick, what do you have to say?
I don't know what you mean by the first move.
Yes.
Because are you saying the first step or the first verbal word?
Oh, okay.
Because when we talk about the first move, it means driving towards that place.
Yes.
You can move towards that place.
Yes.
Or when we talk about the first move in an engagement, who opens up and start talking? That's what Liz is saying, that there are two first moves. To put yourself in a position that somebody can talk to you, you have moved. To avail yourself. Then you can avail yourself.
You can't sit
And then you
indoors
meet like this, everybody becomes deaf and dumb. Nobody wants to speak. You look at, so who will break
Yes.
the silence?
Yes.
The boldness has been given to men. And if a man does not do that, he will be equated to a lady. Why don't you behave like a man? People will say like that. Talk, man. Even this lady will tell you, can you say something? You are a man. So the first move can be two.
Yes.
Who avails himself first,
And who verbally?
and then who verbally breaks the silence.
Sure.
You are about to read a verse.
Back to Ruth 3, 2 to 4. We said she strategically placed herself. It says, now Boaz, whose young women you were with, that is Naomi speaking, is he not our relative? In fact, he is winnowing barley tonight at the threshing floor. Therefore, wash yourself. Now, these people keep on telling us, Pastor, pray for me, I get a woman or a man, and you never brush your teeth. Wash yourself.
Right.
And anoint yourself. Smell nicely. At times you
Put
pass
some
and
oil,
it's
man.
just that scent that makes someone turn their head. They've not looked at your face, just the scent. Anoint yourself. Put on your best garment and go down to the threshing floor. But do not make yourself known to the man until he has finished eating and drinking. Then it shall be, when he lies down, that you shall notice the place where he lies, and you shall go in, uncover his feet, and lie down, and he will tell you what you should do. Are we together? And so at midnight,
Yes.
the Bible puts it, at midnight, Boaz was actually startled, shocked, and he turned just to find a woman lying at his what? At his feet. He only asked a simple question. He asked, who are you? Listen to Ruth's response. She didn't mince her words. So that you want, and that is where communication comes in. When people want to imagine that you know what they want. That girl didn't mince her words. Listen to what she says, verse 8 and verse 9. She says this, now it happened at midnight that the man was startled and turned himself, and there a woman was lying at his feet. And he said, who are you? So she answered, I am Ruth, your maid servant. Take your maid servant under your wing, for you are a close relative. Are we together? She stated exactly what had brought her. She strategically placed herself. The opportunity came, and we say she closed the deal.
Caro, what I don't know, what I don't know whether that move is Christian. Whether that move can be advised. Yes, it was a move in the Bible. Can it be advised now for our young girls to do that? You just march into somebody's compound.
Yes.
And then you time him when he has gone to his bedroom. Then you get into the bedroom and open the net and go under the pillow, under the bed sheet and sleep there. And he asks, who are you?
Pastor Nick, pause right there. Pause it right there. Hey. We don't want to know what's going to happen after that. I know you have questions. I know you have questions, and we're just about to go for a break. Please, if your friends are not watching yet, please tell them to tune in. You're watching Hope Channel Kenya. Sorry. Now I'm even confused. That statement. Choice of a young voice. Engage with us. Follow our social media platforms. Please subscribe to our Skiza Tunes. Let your caller meet Jesus. We are talking about who makes the first move. And I've strategically left it in suspense so that you can stay tuned and wait for part B of this discussion. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. You are still watching The Choice of a Young Voice, and today's topic is very hot. Who makes the first move? Before we went on a break, we were talking about Ruth and how she strategically placed herself. And yes, and Pastor Nick was, I want you to continue telling us, where were you heading with what you were saying? Yes.
I'm heading nowhere. But I'm heading to a situation that can be very pathetic at the current life that we are living.
Okay.
Those times people respected themselves and at least they were the manners. But if you can take that move, any lady can take the move of Ruth now, then he or she will be equated as an harlot. Or a sex lady, and that alone will defame her. So to me, I think yes, ladies can make moves, and they can be the first to break the silence if they so wish. But they must be current.
Yes.
They must understand the situation that we are living in today, so that you don't be misunderstood to be, loose.
Yes. Desperate.
Yeah. So I think that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. A question. I need to give you people opportunity. Otherwise, may I have many? Okay, let's start with the gentleman behind there. Give him a microphone.
Okay, I have a question about parental guidance. This is a situation where you are a young Christian who has a parent that are not God-fearing, and every time you make a move, they reject. So when you ignore them and make a move, can the curses befall on you?
Yes.
We have a situation, you have godly parents, and I think that is a plus for such a young person. But not all parents, like we said, are godly. And I think at that moment, there is nothing wrong. But you also need to make that move with respect. Yes, they are not godly, but you should also allow them their respect as parents. You make the move in such a way that you recognize that I also have parents that there's need for their input in what I have done, I have picked, so that you don't totally ignore them. But of course, that is after also, the fact that you have ungodly parents doesn't mean that you make that move alone entirely. We have people in church that have been in marriage for quite a long time that are God-fearing. You can consult with those people. By the time you move to your parents, you're moving in recognition that these are my parents, even though they are not godly.
Yes. Thank you. Yes?
Under very slim chances, whether God-fearing or not God-fearing, the parents always want good for their children. Whether drunkard or not drunkard. And those ones who are not God-fearing are very sensitive. They know what is good and what is not good. And actually they appreciate what is good, even though they don't appreciate it in themselves. But when they see something good, they will say, my son has brought the best. Yeah. But by the appearance of what you have brought, they will nod. And how the lady handles them, they will appreciate. So if you have brought the best, even if your father is not a God-fearing, he will recognize that immediately. When they become violent in something that of your choice, get very sensitive also. They may be speaking something right, even though they are not Christians. You might think that you have got a Christian lady.
But...
because you go to church together with her.
Yes. Yes.
But not all Christians are Christians.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. One more before I move on. Yes.
Yeah, I'm Sharon Rhoda. I'm asking, how can you solve a scenario whereby maybe your parents want you to get married to someone who is your relative due to their wealth?
Who is your relative?
Your parents want you to get married to someone who is your relative due to their wealth.
Okay, Pastor Liz.
I think that now clearly we are able to distinguish between a godly parent and the one who's not godly, because those that are not godly would definitely be driven by money, wealth, what you're talking about. Some are driven by tribe. You get it? My son cannot marry a Kamba. My son cannot marry a Kisi. My son cannot marry a Kikuyu. Know that these stereotypes we hold about certain tribes.
Yes.
You'd rather be driven by the fact that is she a Christian, a true convert? Because in marriage, true conversion is a requisite. Every other thing can be different, but when it comes to conversion in marriage, it's a very important element. Yes.
Now, back to who makes the first move between the lady and the gentleman. We have ladies. You said we have to be careful to present, even as the ladies speak.
Yes.
To do it in a way that you're not desperate. There are people who have strong personalities, ladies, yeah, outrightly, So they work in a demeanor that, you know, could be intimidating for some men. So in such a scenario, you know, some men like, hey, that woman, she's too much. She's too intimidating. Or what does the woman do? Does she, yeah, how can she react to such a scenario?
Yeah, when you have a personality like that of a man, and, and you are a lady, we have seen those personalities.
Yes.
And to some extent, when they are mingled with some Christianity, those personality can be tamed so well to an extent that even though they want to come out pronouncedly, but because of understanding the Bible and understanding your relationship with Christ, this Christianity will tame you a little bit, so that you don't outpower your husband, or you don't outpower your boyfriend. At least you will make the first move. You will break the silence,
Yes.
but with a lot of Christianity in you,
Yes.
will not humiliate the man.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not wrong. It's not wrong to have that personality because it's natural. But when it is not Christianized,
Yes, there's a problem.
then it will come out very bad.
Pastor Lee.
Allow me to take us back a little bit, just a little bit and very fast. In the case of Ruth and Boaz. By the time Ruth makes that first move, remember she had already found favor with who? With
God.
Boaz.
Also, wow.
And even Boaz says, make sure she gleans even places where she should not supposed to glean. Don't shout at her. Allow. She had already found favor with who? With Boaz. And wherever she went at night, it was at the threshing floor. It was not a private place. There were workers that were there. Are we together? So she did not compromise her security. Of course, today you cannot say you're going to Simba. Simba is that small hut is called what?
Yes.
You know, for a man. And you're only the Kejayak. And you're only two.
Yes.
The principle we are bringing out here is that by the time you make that move, you have found favor in the eyes of each other. Number one, strategically place yourself. When the opportunity comes, grab it. Don't begin beating around the bush.
Yes.
Now, strong personalities. These are personalities. We are not the same.
Yeah.
We are different. The issue is you don't need to lower your standard to be able to accommodate someone. That is now what we call desperation. Because when we are courting, we will play safe. You know, everyone puts their best foot forward. They are strong personalities, but they want to hide it just so that they get that person. You don't need to lower that standard. There will always be a man that can put you in your right place. You will always find someone who is actually comfortable with that kind of personality and can put you in your place. We've seen these women. In public, they harass everyone. But when it comes to their husband, they have nothing to say. They just find themselves quiet. Because that man knows how to handle them.
When you
but
talk about
you don't have to lower your standard.
putting yourself strategically, there are times we, as ladies, we do that, but the men are not noticing. Like, they are clueless. Like, they're not reading the signs. I'm dressing nicely. I'm smelling good. I'm there. I'm available.
Yes.
But he's not seeing. So what do?
You don't place yourself strategically for people who have no interest in you, Mai.
Okay.
You are not in some trial error class. Are we together? You're not just there. Let me hope someone will see me. No, that is not what we are talking about. We are talking about these friendships you have had for long with a person. Are we together? Because the best person to marry is your friend. It's not some stranger. Are we together? So when I'm saying I'm placing myself strategically, it's not to a stranger. And even if you have had, some history of friendships, let nothing tell you that every man that you've had friendships with is interested in you. If you realize they're not noticing, it's a clear sign that they have no no interest. You get it? And that is where we find our young people moving away from church, saying they cannot marry Adventists because no one is seeing them. And if you look at what they're saying, that they're only concentrating in some one local church. I mean, we have hundreds of churches in this country. If you're not noticed here in Nairobi, I mean, in Kisumu, move to Nairobi. Who said that the man who should marry you is in your local church, Voice of Hope? No. So that now you have to move out and get a non-believer.
Pastor Nick, please, what do you have to say? And as you answer, write down and start putting up your choice. They usually make a choice and put it on the choice board. So please start doing that.
Men are very careful. You are putting yourself strategically for how many?
Yes.
Yeah, that is something. You put yourself here strategically, another one here strategically. Then who is she interested on? So when you are putting yourself strategically, it's not a matter of every place you go and you put yourself, every gate you put yourself strategically. No, can you have your self-esteem? Can you be composed? You know, ladies have given an opportunity to boast a bit. You have to ring a bit around there, so that you don't seem to be so desperate. Everybody you see strategical. Everybody you see, I'm here for you. Everybody you see, I'm here for you. So that the men will say, this lady, no, this man, we are wrong choice. So please take your time. When you decide to put yourself strategically for an individual, that he knows that you are aiming at him.
Yes.
Okay? Not just putting on a nice dress every time and again. The Bible is very careful. You say today, bathe. Today, brush. Today, put on well and go
to yourself.
To boss, not going to anybody. My friend.
That's a nice one.
That's a good one. Other days don't. Yes.
I don't know whether we are getting it wrong as men.
Right.
That when we see a lady that wants to come and have they want to show interest more than me, then something comes to my mind that if it is not me alone, maybe she's doing it somewhere. Then I'm seeing that lady, that somebody that is I don't know how I can put it, a lady that is too much to men. I can say that if she can do this to me, it means that she's doing this to someone. So I don't want to understand or to how I can know a lady that has an interest in me and truly in her heart, that is what she is for. And somebody that is just coming to play around and again maybe somewhere else she's playing around somewhere.
My friend,
Yes.
You will only think of that if the lady has not psyched you to give you some anxiety. But if this lady has been disciplined, you have been seeing her carry herself properly, and then all of a sudden you see her approach and pass before you like this, suggesting something. My friend,
wants to walk with you all the time.
My friend, you will say, I've got gold. And you say, I'm the lucky person in the whole world. But those ones that you suspect are the ones that, you know, even she's not respecting even herself.
Yes.
You have heard so many stories about her and some behaviors about her. And now she comes to you. You say, no. But if a lady, you know, some ladies, men, just say, hey, can she even greet me?
Yes. Thank you, Pastor.
Yes.
Pastor Liz, do you have anything to add?
Let's not talk like it's some trial and error game we are doing.
Yes.
Remember I said Ruth found favor in the eyes of who?
Of course.
He just saw him and liked her. And Ruth also saw him and liked him. So it's like they were just waiting for that opportunity.
It was mutual.
Yeah, it was mutual. So it's not like you're just trying because I feel I like that person, and you've never even engaged at any level.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I see you're wondering what's going on. At the end of every episode, the young people make a choice. What choice are you making today from what you've learned? And they stick it there so that we can, you know, read some of them to the viewer, so the viewer as well will have a time to think about their lives and make a choice. Maybe there's a lady who's been desperate and now she has to tone down and and make a choice for. Now, I'll give 30 seconds each. Closing remarks. What do you have to say to the young people today?
Well, marriage, at the end of the day, it's a relationship that leads into marriage. And marriage affects your life here and the life to come. So it's not a choice you will make based on emotions. It's a choice that has to be made when you're so sober. And that is where the devil comes in. And it's after we have made that wrong decision that we get to realize actually we made the wrong decisions. And many marriages today are not working simply because there were mismatches. They were not the right people that you were supposed to marry. But based on the topic of the moment, we are looking at the roles of the man, ultimately in marriage, in terms of leadership, in terms of protection, in terms of provision. And we know society has taught us it's the man that hunts down the woman. Are we together? So we expect to see you take the lead, even as you're looking for someone to marry. A woman becoming a wife and becoming submissive and supportive. We expect to see those roles even as these two people get to relate.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Pastor Nick?
In the Bible, we talk about parents choosing for their children whom to marry. It was identical in the Bible of those who believe in God and those who don't believe in God. And anyone who believed in God and worshiped the true God, it was associated with blessings. And the blessings were real.
Yes.
They had plenty. Currently, as we speak now, there is mixed matching. You cannot identify those who fear the Lord and those who are blessed because they fear the Lord.
Yes.
The parents wanted those who fear the Lord, and at least the children are not going to suffer. They are blessed. Now parents are confused between the two now. They want to match the fear of the Lord and the blessing for their children.
Yes.
But they don't get it. The reason why they don't get it, some people are fakely blessed. And some are really blessed. So parents are now, should we go for the wealthy or should we go for the God-fearing? He said that. So that is where we have the problem. So the young men, you must also have an opportunity to think and also choose wisely. God has also given you that power of choice.
Amen. Amen. Ah, that is a blessing. Have you been blessed? Let's look at the different choices you're making today. Someone says, a good wife must come from God. Amen?
Amen.
Another person says, I make a choice not to seem desperate when making my move. We've learned how to be strategic, ladies. Someone else says, parental guidance in relationships is good, especially with God's guidance. Thank you so much. I hope you've all been blessed. I hope you've learned something today. Make a choice. Make a choice. Ladies, be strategic, but with God's guidance. Men, take that leadership role and let God guide you. Thank you for watching. God bless you. See you next week.